Are we recording already?
Yeah, boy.
Oh, damn. Okay.
So what is our topic though? Did we choose one?
All three of them.
Okay,
Okay.
let's ride
a
in.
piece.
Well, let's start with
Let's start with the cocktail.
okay.
Oh,
You
gonna have to do this one.
You know what you want to do.
Nobody know what you
Y'all-
put in here.
Yeah, it's almost gone. We did it again to you guys. I mean, maybe you should come earlier.
Yeah, y'all need to be on time and start running the CPT.
Yeah, man. So it's a sangria. It's more fruit than liquor, but hey,
It's okay.
it's gonna be
It was good.
some good freaking fruit in a minute.
No, for real. I'm gonna tear that up.
So yeah, it's the actual Hennessy sangria. I stole the recipe off the Hennessy website, and it's straight. I mean, I think my everyone said I need to add more Hennessy on it, but hey.
I think more Hennessy, and I think the white wine you choose needs to be sweeter. And I say that because everything is kind of bitter or like kind of bland.
Cool.
And so like if you put it like a sweet, bubbly wine on it, it'll like.
I was thinking about that.
Yeah, that's why I told you get that
Bubbly.
Castello del
So
Sol.
yeah, we Hennessy sangria, and we, I know y'all was probably talking about this, so we got like a little ice bucket for y'all.
We official.
Ooh, we moving up. We official
Okay,
like a
no
referee.
longer the ice bucket from Africa, America.
But it got a lid on it.
I don't know if you saw it. No longer that kitchen spoon with a bucket of ice. A bowl for like, not even a bucket. It was a bowl full of ice. And I was like,
Yeah.
We made it work though.
Hey man, we going up. So cheers.
y'all
All
paying
right.
our bills.
So this is gonna be episode 6. Hope you guys loved 5. I wasn't really on it, but I was on it, and yeah.
Yesterday was Juneteenth.
Yesterday was Juneteenth. Did y'all celebrate?
I did go for a cookout. I don't think it was originally for Juneteenth.
It was
but I
for Father's Day?
celebrated Juneteenth.
I didn't know how to celebrate it.
It was for a friend.
Like-
it was for a friend's graduation.
I mean,
Like,
I had to work, but it's just like, how do I celebrate
Yeah.
this?
You don't do shit.
You just think right. What
Oh.
was you working on Juneteenth for? This is what Juneteenth is for. We stopped working.
We was
that day.
free.
Or we
ish.
stopped working.
Man gotta pay the bills.
That's when they said the slaves was
Yeah,
free.
right.
But, funny story. My great grandmother was born on a plantation in 1910. So like
Hold on. You're who?
great
Oh, great grandma.
grandmother
Okay.
was born on a plantation in 1910, and her mother was a slave.
So this is the craziest thing. This is what I heard.
Like, come on.
Check this out. I don't know if this is true. I heard it. They said we've been enslaved longer than we've been free.
I think so.
Yeah. Especially
Yeah.
if you include like segregation and all that kind
Yeah,
of shit.
absolutely. Jim Crow was not freedom.
Right. If you throw that in there, yeah.
And then it goes back even further than that. If you like even look beyond the boat, like our people have been.
So if we were,
we were sold by other tribes, like, which means that at some point we were subservient to somebody else, like.
that's
tribe took you
super
over.
true. Like, but say what in America? What it was like the first slave in like 1600 or something?
No,
Before that,
It was.
yeah,
Okay. So the 1400s maybe.
probably 15.
15. So okay, 1500s.
Wait. Was America a thing?
Because they landed with
1500.
1776.
It was the 1600s.
Yeah, that's what I was
Because
saying.
the first
16.
people started arriving here in the late 1500s, early 1600s.
So 1600s to 2000, that's like 400 years.
Jesus.
And we're just in 2020, 2022.
Can I give a shout out to like a tour I went on?
Yeah. Can you
Okay,
please talk
so
about
I
it?
went to Savannah a week ago, and it is the only one I know of that's a black-owned slave tour in Savannah. And Savannah is one of the biggest slave ports in America at the time. And there's this woman there. Her name is Sister Pat. Hey, Sister Pat. Hope
Hey,
you're
Sister
seeing
Pat.
this. She is sweet older lady. She's Geechee, one of the last Geechee generations who truly know their
Geechee,
culture. Yeah. And like she is an advocate because Savannah is denying the slave history there. And so she'll take you through and show you the slave quarters, like all this kind of stuff, and just kind of give a true account of what it was like to be here as a black person in like the 1800s, the 17 and 1800s. And Savannah is completely denying it.
Savannah looked like slaves built it. Like you-
No,
Yeah, it
And
does.
she shows
Look
you,
like it.
No,
Like,
and
it
she shows
looks
you
like-
like how you know, like it's like certain symbols called adinkras from the Ashanti tribe, and like if you look at the ironwork around the city, there's adinkra everywhere, and it's like, or you'll
The
see
bricks
like
they put down. All
yes,
that. Yeah.
and then I found because the bricks will tell you what plantation they came from because that was their way of marking graves when slaves died there. And I walked into my Airbnb and all the bricks was like lining the porch,
Damn.
and I was like, dog.
See, I can't do that on vacation. That's gonna fuck my vacation up.
It did kind of piss me off.
See, I can't do it.
But I got there early just to experience the tour because it was like, first of all, I feel like black people should not have to pay for a slave tour, especially white people. Like, you think about it, like, imagine a white person saying, hold on. Like, no.
Hold on.
And so, like, Sister
That
Pat,
shit real.
no, like, you think about it, like, we shouldn't have to pay for slave tours. You do have to pay for this one, but it is black owned and it goes to the advocacy.
Okay, that's fair. Yeah,
It's
okay.
advocacy.
Okay, yeah, I'm cool with
So
that.
I'm cool with that.
That makes sense, but it
But,
just
like,
doesn't sit right. I
Imagine
don't
a
know
white
why.
person making you pay for a slave tour. It should be free for us.
It's kind of like feeding a chicken.
I'm trying.
And they'll eat it. And they eat it. Have you seen the video of the chicken
Yes.
tearing that chicken up? It's horrible.
Dang, that's crazy. Oh,
So,
you said
yeah.
a dinkras?
It's called a dinkra.
Break that down for me.
A dinkra
Okay.
are symbols from the Ashanti alphabet.
Okay.
And correct me if I'm wrong, if anyone, but I think that's from my understanding that's what it is. And they mean certain things. And so slaves would use them when they made like ironwork and woodwork there around the city to communicate with each other. So one of them is like Ezekiel's wheel, which means hold on to faith. And there's like circles that mean freedom, and the waves mean water. So if you put them together, it says hold on to faith because freedom is on the water. Like they used it to communicate with each other. And it was really cool. And you'll just see them throughout the city. And she gave us like a chart of what they all mean. And if you look and walk around Savannah, you can see them in the ironwork.
I feel bad now because I was drunk when I was in Savannah.
Were you doing St. Patrick's Day?
No.
Okay, cool.
Just drunk.
I got drunk later too, but
That's
I
not the
actually
point.
wasn't there for that. But I got there early
Enough
to
to
go
get drunk.
experience that.
Nice.
And it was amazing. So I think you guys should go. It's called the Underground Tours of Savannah. If you're ever in Savannah, it's
I seen that too.
It was
And I was just
amazing.
like, I don't need to do this right
It was
now.
amazing.
Yeah.
It'll piss you off though. It'll piss you off.
Yeah, I don't need to. I gotta be in the right mind state for that.
But I think we all need to see it to kind of like understand more.
Somebody was talking about that, you know, because I forgot, he's like a famous doctor or whatever, black doctor. I forgot his name. He was like,
Ben Carson.
Not Ben Carson. It's like, dang, I forgot, it's like Caldwell or something. Anywho, but he was like, as black people, we don't necessarily need reparations or whatever. But then I seen another like TikTok video and it showed how like white people pretty much, they benefit from it. So it's like,
Y'all, she showed us this the block where slaves were sold, and she said the banks that people used to get loans to buy slaves are still there in their original buildings.
Still here.
what bank?
We might get sued for that because you probably got their cards in your wallet right now. I know I did.
The top two. Wells Fargo, Bank of America.
It actually wasn't Wells Fargo, but I won't say the other ones.
Say it no, don't be scared.
I
You bank
Never
well?
mind.
Yeah, I banked
Oh.
one. I was pissed too. I was like,
That might be.
Can I say it?
You say run me back all them $35 overcharges.
Can I say it? I feel like as a black person, I'm protected.
I mean,
their history.
Right.
It's a lot of countries. Like,
No, you spoiling the tour, so don't say it.
Yeah,
Y'all gotta see it.
You'll
Oh,
see
okay.
it when you get there. So contact Sister Pat and Underground Tours, and she will show you around Savannah.
Dope.
Nice. All right, so I guess we'll get into our first pseudo topic. Well, topic,
Pseudo-topic.
because we already like pseudo talked about it before. Zay had a topic that he wanted to discuss. It says, what's an overrated black movie, song, album, and sitcom? Are we doing like one of each?
We can do one of each.
Yeah, let's do one of each.
Okay. I'm not going first, but I'll say the Cosby Show.
I can see that.
I agree with the Cosby
I
Show.
agree.
But
Ooh.
and
I don't. Let me be quiet.
Movie Color Purple? Not Color Purple,
I ain't
but
never seen Color
Purple
Purple.
Rain.
I
I
ain't
was
never
gonna
finished
say
it.
Love and Basketball.
Okay, y'all.
We can go. We all agree on that
I
one.
think we
I
all
agree on
agreed
Love
on
and
that.
Basketball. Okay.
Okay, my sitcom. I'm not a fan of sitcoms.
Okay.
It makes everybody mad when I say this one.
What you gonna say?
Martin.
Oh.
No, I agree. I agree.
Ooh.
Martin was funny,
Ooh.
but there were certain elements of it that were really like.
Don't you like Ooh. Ooh.
What?
Ooh.
Like Martin.
What about Martin pissed you off? Because there was a lot about Martin that pissed me off.
Okay,
Damn,
what pissed me-
Gina.
It's,
How you do Marty Marr like that?
You like Martin?
I like Martin, but I'm not a, you know.
Now I'll tell you what. I grew up watching Martin because I had cable, so that was what I was on sometimes.
Ooh.
I had cable.
Oh, you didn't have
Oh,
cable?
I
I thought you
did.
said you did have
I did
cable.
not have
I
cable.
was like, yo, rich parents.
So a lot of times, Martin was all that was on. So there are certain shows that was just on all the time. And Martin was one of them. So I remember enjoying it when I was a kid. But the older I got,
And Living Single.
and Living Single was always on. But I love Living Single.
I ain't like that show either.
I love Living Single.
I can't think of a single sitcom that I really like. It's just.
But Martin, I'm gonna tell you what used to piss me off. They used to downplay Pam because she was dark skinned.
They did.
They did.
But she was kind
Like,
of cute
Pam
though.
was bad. Like they really used to do her dirty because she was dark skinned, and they would put like Gina up here and Pam down here because she was dark skinned and Gina was light skinned.
Because she was dark skinned or was just a friend?
No.
Okay, I got a question.
Because like Tommy tried to talk to her and like, what's the other guy name?
But it was always just this
the
idea
hats.
that Gina was up here and Pam was just down here.
That is true. That's true.
And I was like, let's call it what it is. And then it was like, and then even outside of that, the way Martin used to do Gina was actually kind of trash. Like it was like, why are you still in this relationship, sis? Like this is ugly.
Yeah. I ain't like it because it was like
It was ugly.
nobody was funny but Martin, and like.
Cole was kind of funny, bro.
But they made him too stupid.
And
at
Bro
the
Man
beginning.
was
Bro
funny.
Man from the fifth floor.
Yeah,
was
Bro
funny.
Man and Cole.
Okay, I guess my issue is, okay, let me get some backstory. I used to do stand up, so a lot of stuff I see is like I don't like seeing the same jokes over and over.
Okay.
I see what you're saying.
Or like when they make a character like overly stupid and it just be like, all right.
Yeah, they doing too much. Yeah.
And like the first 2 seasons, it's like okay, like Cole was like he wasn't as stupid. They made him stupider as he got.
I
Like,
got
Yeah.
I got a
That was
question
like the
for y'all.
Parkers. Like in the
I
beginning,
fucking hated that shit.
in Moesha, Kim was not that dumb, and then when you got to the Parkers, all
I
of a
just
sudden
can't
she had the
stand
IQ of a flea,
I can't
and
stand
it was
Monique.
like, what?
Oh my god.
You wanna unpack that for a second? That
Monique just always bothered me. Like,
why?
because she was always fucking hating on skinny people or people that was in shape. It was just always like the opposite of fat shaming. That's what she did her whole
Well,
career.
hold on. I don't think that goes both ways. I don't think privilege goes both ways.
What do you mean? You can shame somebody because
There
they're
is-
skinny.
As a skinny person, I will tell you that no matter how much someone who's bigger than me shames me, I still have privilege. Like you know what I'm saying? Like at the end of the day, it's not the same. It's not the same.
I don't agree with that because the privilege is. I get what you kind of saying.
It might feel differently
You
to men
have
and women, but
a
I know for
control
women-
over your privilege.
No, you don't.
You can stop fucking eating. Oh, but anyway, my issue with Monique. The first one.
I disagree. I disagree.
You can't stop eating? Even
Your
your body
body-
didn't know that was a lie.
But
Your body didn't.
But that was loaded because you saying like, oh, you could just stop eating. And it's like, bro, don't get me started.
No, I got a question after this whole thing. I want to touch it towards
No,
the
we don't need
end.
to unpack that further. I'm
No.
gonna let the girls eat them. I'm gonna let the girls eat them up.
What
I'm gonna let the
girls?
girls eat them up.
What do you
I'm gonna
mean?
let them girls.
Why
eat
is
'em
that?
up.
Why is that a sex thing?
What do you mean?
You said the girls eat them up.
I'm
like,
just saying they
like,
can eat you up. They
how?
can eat you alive.
Cause of
And
Monique.
I'm gonna do like this.
Cause of Monique. Cause I said that you can like which which part?
It was the part where you could just stop eating. Ooh, they finna eat.
So y'all, I want to really touch something like deep. Why did Martin have to dress up as Shanae? Why did Eddie Murphy have to dress up as all the women in the clump? Like, why does Tyler Perry have to
Well,
dress
first
up
of all, all
as
the people in the clumps had me weak.
Okay, yeah, they
That
was.
movie
But
was funny.
still, like, okay, well, what about Norbit?
Norbit
was
is
funny.
exactly what we was just talking about.
Actually, Norbit was funny as fuck to me. I'm sorry.
Norbit is.
Norbit!
Shut up.
Norbit! Who moved my seat? My titties used to hit like this. Now they hit like this. You didn't play on my seat, Norbit.
Help.
Norbit!
Help.
Yes, Respucia, I did it. I
He
did it.
that voice. He got that voice down
It
pat.
was the best child. That's what had me weak. But no, like Norbit is exactly what we were just talking about. Norbit was legit there to make fun of big flat black women.
Damn.
It was extremely problematic because they don't make movies like that about skinny black women. They only make movies like that about bigger black women.
Damn.
And that's why I was saying, like, you're talking from a perspective of a man, and I don't know how it is in the man's world with that, but with women, it's
Hold on.
definitely some discrimination there.
There's discrimination for men too.
I'm not saying it's
like
not.
you literally just
I'm not
named
saying it's not, but you
another.
acting like it's not.
Hold on, you just said
We got
another
this whole Lizzo
movie.
thing going on.
You just said another movie that made fun of fat black men. The Clumps. Eddie Murphy.
He was making fun of.
Most of his characters. Were
Yeah,
fat
the
black
main
men.
character was fat and.
It was the same, but you don't. It's viewed differently because he's a man.
Well, also the way you just dismissed it says everything we need to know. Y'all just dismissed that.
How did I dismiss
So it's
it?
like, but women.
I didn't dismiss it.
Now here's the
That's why I
thing.
asked. I was like, "What about the sex?"
Let me
Was you
finish- Let me
saying?
finish talking.
Okay.
Because I said skinny privilege. I didn't say skinny woman privilege. I didn't say skinny man privilege. I said skinny privilege, and you completely dismissed it. And so it's kind of like, so you can sit up here and say like, oh, you dismissed it then, but you've been dismissing it from jump. So you can sit up here and say, oh, now we include men. So is it something you're sensitive about or not?
Okay, this is why. Okay, this. Yes, I can come back because up until maybe 5 years ago, I have always been the skinny guy. So the privilege that you're saying is like, nah, I got the other side of that. Like,
I'm not saying people.
but like, yeah, I don't. Yes, there's like both sides get made fun of.
They do.
Like, there's no like.
They do. However, but the beauty standard specifically for women is to be smaller. So I'm not saying that skinny women don't get made fun of because, again, I haven't been smaller all my life, and it was kind of like, oh, you ain't got no booty, all that kind of stuff, right? So, and typically for eating disorders, it's the opposite with black women. So like we don't necessarily always suffer from anorexia, but binge eating disorder. It's not that we have less eating disorders, that we have a different one because of that.
Okay.
Semicolon, however, but the overall beauty standard for women is to be smaller. So like even if you go into stores, if you're over a certain size, you're not gonna find no clothes. Like, you know what I mean? Like it's just like it's very subtle messages that you need to be smaller than what you are.
And the beauty standard for men
privilege.
is to be is to be muscular and not skinny.
The fact that if someone shops for me and I can just say, oh, just get me a medium and it'll most likely fit means that I have privilege because of my size.
But I can counter that. I can't shop. I can't tell my wife to go get me a large because the shit ain't gonna fit.
Right.
Like because of my length.
However,
way I am.
If you decide to take that to a tailor, it's gonna be cheaper to take it in than to let it out.
What tailor?
If you get something that's too big and you take it to a tailor, it's gonna be cheaper to take it in to fit you being smaller
because you already
than
paid
to let it out to be bigger.
Yeah, the tailor because you already paid for the material.
You gotta pay extra for the materials.
You already paid for the material.
Exactly. You gotta pay more.
Yeah, because you
pay more material.
It's more material.
So it costs more to be bigger, which means you have more privilege if you're smaller because you get to pay.
That is not privilege. That's just
Not
straight
really.
up science.
Wait. No, that's for Taylor.
No,
That's for a Taylor.
But that's what I'm saying.
But
in
I'm
that
saying
situation, like it's more likely you're gonna find clothes that fit you. And I'm speaking from a woman's perspective. I've never been a man.
I get what you're saying.
But I'm just saying, like, if my friend is like, hey, I'm gonna pick you up from a shirt from Forever 21, I don't know. I don't really shop. I don't know. But if she goes, I'm picking you up a shirt from Shein, Fashion Nova, whatever, I'd be like, oh, just get me a medium because more than likely it's just gonna fit. And even if it don't all the way fit, I can make it work. You know what I mean? Because it's kind of in to have clothes for women. It's kind of in to have clothes that kind of hang up off you a little bit. But for women who are bigger, that's not really the case. They have to try on their clothes. They can go in there and not find anything that fits their size.
I get you. No. I get you. But I'm just saying, like,
I'm not dismissing that for you, but what I'm saying is you're more likely to find something that fits you if you're smaller than if you're bigger. Am I wrong?
I can't say that you're wrong.
Okay.
Yeah, I feel like I don't.
I still don't agree with the whole it costs you more to go to a tailor.
Most of the times it's
because like duh.
The tailor,
because you adding more.
So you disagree, but you agree?
No.
My thing is,
I agree, but I agree that it's supposed to cost more because you're adding material. That's just like saying,
right? But,
well, I'm not gonna. So I don't think that's a privilege thing. It's just a money thing. It's economical.
No, but that's what privilege is. It's your access to resources and money.
But that's just
that's
okay.
not
so
a
you're
resource.
gonna save more money if you weigh less. Like
so if I'm a tailor, so what I'm gonna break down to you, if I'm a tailor and two people bring me a shirt,
just because it don't bother you don't mean it's not privilege.
No, that's not really privilege. I can't
I can counter that. Especially speaking of America, 80% of Americans don't even go to tailors. If you go to the store, I'm just saying, if you go to a store to buy a T-shirt, most of the T-shirts are the same price for the same shirt.
Small, medium, large, extra, whatever.
It's normally the same price.
Right. Yeah. So, but that's why I say I still can't go because if you have to add material, this is like if I bring another person in to dinner, I have to add more dinner in. That's going to be more money.
Making this way more complicated.
No, I mean because that's not privilege.
Even when I have gone to the tailor and got my stuff tailored like more fitted, and it still costs me money.
All right.
But what she's saying, it'll cost you more if you have to add more material, in which because you have to add more material. So that's not a privilege. That's just
the tailor's
So what do you call privilege?
I call privilege is when you're taking an unfair advantage over something.
Not necessarily.
That's the whole point of a privilege.
No, a privilege means that you just have more access regardless. So you're always
that's still an unfair advantage.
Because of how you look, because of how you are, because your position inside, you will always come out on top. So in that case, because you are smaller, you pay less.
But okay, I understand what you're saying, but what you're saying is totally irrelevant to this. You pay less because you have less to give. You pay more because you have more to add to that.
You're making this way more complicated.
No, that's not complicated.
Even if you go to the tailor, I have gone to the tailor and get something tailored and it cost me more because of the material they had to work with.
That's what I'm saying.
Not the amount. No, I'm saying like
compare it to if they had to let it out.
No, not letting it. I'm saying the material itself changes it. Like if you're doing cotton versus wool, all that
versus silk, all of that
tailoring.
But that's a business.
It's a bad example to me.
Well, okay, that's fine, but I said what I said.
But that don't make it right.
I mean, you just make things more complicated.
No, that's not more complicated. That's business. If you add more fabric, that costs more money. So it's even if
I can counter that. So there's a female privilege when it comes to buying tennis shoes. Yeah. I wear a size 13, 14, depending on.
Was that supposed to offend me?
No, I'm saying, but
no. I mean, like, if it's true,
But here's my counter. If I go to the store and me and my wife buy a shoe, it's the same damn price. My shoe I have more material. If me and my wife, we just bought some Converse. We paid the same price for the Converse. I have more material in my shoe.
Which means you got privilege because you got more material for the same amount of money. Well, I mean, I don't know what your point is. If you have privilege,
my point is at this point. I don't understand. I get what you're trying to say initially about because I don't agree with it. Because I have been. Okay, this is why I don't agree with it. I have been small. I have been large. I paid the same price when it comes to find. It was hard for me to find clothes when I was small. It was hard for me to find clothes when I put on weight. Both ways. We didn't even get to talk about
we're gonna have to run it like 5 minutes at least. I'm sorry, guys. All right.
We got a timer and it just told us to shut up.
Yeah, basically.
It kindly said move on.
Which is cool because we can really get off on a tangent, but you know how to, especially because they love to just be anti whatever I say.
I think she just has an opposite position on a lot of things.
I agree with you, but I just don't agree that it was privilege because it's just economics.
I think you look at privilege as something more extreme than what it is, and sometimes it's subtle.
I can agree with that.
Yeah.
But the whole thing that when it comes down to economic versus privilege, now if you have a skinny girl that walks into a tailor and they show favoritism,
so when you look at black and white, is it separate from economics when you look at privilege?
All right, so let me break this down. The reason why it's privilege because, like I said, it's an unfair advantage. Now, when it comes to it, like we talked about earlier, when it came down to slavery, who benefited? We saw that land was given freely. It was sold for millions. Businesses were bought. XYZ, all of this trickled down, even having relationships and partnerships with schools, and because they didn't get a fucking 20, whatever the highest SAT or ACT score is, they had relationship. Correct. They had families that paid into the colleges and stuff. So that is privilege because it's an unfair advantage. And it was economical as well. Mm-hmm. But when you have two people that walk into a place and you provide the same exact service, but for one person, if I get my hair cut and it's a bald head, it may be $10. Another person walks in a barbershop and gets a fade with a design, it might be $30. We still walked in, but it cost the barber less to do the bald head than it was to do the fade and whatever design that he needed. So the same person that person that got the bald head could have got a fade as well. And it would have been the price of the other person with the face.
I hear what you're saying, and I hear how you heard what I heard, but I was giving you an example of basically again, if someone wants to buy me a t-shirt and I'm say just buy me a medium, 9 times out of 10 it'll fit. Again,
Okay.
I can't speak for men's sizes because men's sizes are completely different. But as a woman, right, the beauty standard is to be smaller. They're going to make clothes that are geared towards being smaller. So being on the smaller side, I can just say, just buy me a medium, right? Or a medium large. And if they don't have a medium, buy a large and I'll make it work. And I can always make it work. But like if I am much bigger than that, 9 times out of 10, I need to be there with you. I need to try it on and I still may not like it. And I say that because I've also, like during the COVID-19, I gained the COVID-19 and I did kind of get a glimpse of that. I worked at a very popular clothing store and I didn't fit half the stuff there. And it was like, oh, that's what that's like. And that sucks. Cause like you see all this cool stuff and you're like, man, this clothes are for children. Like I'm a grown woman, you know what I mean? Like, and that was when I had gained the COVID-19. So I kind of got a glimpse of that, of like what that's like. You have less options the bigger you are. Again, I can't speak for men. And I'm not, and
I
I'm
think
not.
that's where we seeing a difference. Cause like, I get what you're saying for women, but when on the reverse, when it comes to men, a lot of what you're saying for like smaller men, like it's that cutoff too.
I see what you're saying because it goes the same way with colorism. Like with the darker you are, the more masculine you're perceived. So for women, it's like the darker skinned women tend to get like, you know, they're perceived as masculine and undesirable. But with men, the darker you are, the more masculine you're perceived. So like the lighter skinned men get called like gay and soft and blank because, you know, it goes the opposite for men and women. So when you were speaking on Monique, it was like you're also speaking from a perspective of someone who's never been underprivileged as a woman. Like, and I'm not, you know, regardless how you feel about how vocal she was about it, I see where that anger came from.
But my
like, it's kind of like, okay, well, if I'm going all my life and I just, especially in the industry, like, bruh, people don't even talk about it. I know people who are trying to get into the industry, whether it's music, acting, or whatever, and it's all based on how you look. And for women, it's even more tedious. I'm not saying that men don't have problems with that, because I do feel that there are some situations where I've talked to men and I can see the beauty standards you guys have. So I'm not saying you guys don't have any, and I'm not saying that there is a group of men who are underprivileged, or like I've heard women say, they be like, oh, he's skinny, he looks soft, blah blah blah, and I disagree with it.
Damn.
I've heard that. Like, yeah, like, so I'm not denying that, but I'm saying from a woman's perspective, to say like, oh, she a woman, she ain't got no business hating on skinny women. It's like you're speaking from a perspective you don't understand.
No, that wasn't
even as a smaller woman, I can even see where that anger comes from.
That wasn't my point. My point was like, if your whole comedic platform is based off of one thing, you keep doing that joke over and over and over.
It's just not funny.
It ain't funny.
Okay.
Like,
I give you that.
I just like you're consistently talking about skinny this, skinny that. It's just over. Like, all right, I get. Now, if you balance it out, okay, cool. You make some fat jokes here, make some skinny jokes here. Cool.
I can see that.
But when it's just consistently,
and for me, I don't think she's the funniest comedian out there. However, she got she got money, so someone thought she was funny. Like, you know what I mean? Like, someone thought it was funny.
I mean, somebody agreed with it, but yes, but like in the same position, I know plenty of women that were skinny all their life, could never put on weight, and that bothered them.
No,
so having that, like, somebody like, oh, you just this and that.
Agree.
So it's like, I got both sides, but if your whole platform is this,
no, I agree. But it's also kind of looking at it like, you know, there's some white people who grew up poor and never got out of poverty. That doesn't mean white people as a whole don't have privilege.
No. But okay, in the stance of them, if they was making jokes about being poor, but then the only thing they did was make jokes about being poor, I would still say like, all right, what else? What other material do you have?
That's what we do. Like, you know what I mean? Because we were underprivileged, so it's actually funny. Like, it's like, bro, I grew up poor. Here's all these jokes about being poor, about growing up poor, about, you know what I mean? Like, because, and I'm not saying that's a bad thing, but I'm just saying, like,
initial level. But I expect you to do more.
Okay.
And her being a stand-up comedian, being in the industry for years, I expect her to do more than just.
And it could have been the writers too. I'll give her that. It could have been like, you know, the writers on the, like, cause the thing is, like, the more and more like you get deeper or understand how like the film industry works and all of that stuff, you see how much
I would agree with that if her stand-up didn't support the same thing. Her stand-up's literally like the same.
I mean, but that's what was making her money, so why stop doing it if that's what's gonna make her money?
Just because it make you money don't mean it's like something you should do.
Yeah, but if it was making her money, why stop? Like, she was being positively reinforced to keep doing that. Like, I'm gonna be honest, if I had a certain joke that kept making me money every time I told it, I would not take that joke off the roster, okay?
I think you would feel differently if the joke was at the expense of like black women, and it was funny. I don't think he'd be like, keep doing that joke. It's making you money. I don't think that would ride. Honestly.
She burning a hole in me and she looking at you.
Like honestly, like if it was a joke about black women, and it was whether it was funny or not, but it was a joke and everybody was like, oh yeah, I like that.
I'm scared, yo.
I don't think you'd be like, keep doing that
what
joke.
You gonna say?
Go ahead.
I don't have nothing to say. I said what I said.
Like I don't think you would support it the same way.
I said what I said.
I'll give you an example. Kevin Samuels was benefiting financially from things he was saying.
You want to know something?
I don't think you really
It's
supported
funny you brought that up. I was talking to my dad about that today.
About Kevin Samuels?
Yeah.
My dad.
He's pretty neutral on the issue.
He's indifferent.
He's indifferent. He always was. Before Kevin Samuels passed, he was indifferent towards the whole situation. So, this is his objective view. He said, when Kevin Samuels was ragging on men said nothing. They just said, okay, and they just took it. When he started speaking, no, listen, let me finish. He said, and when he started speaking about women, the women went crazy. But he said, here's the difference. He said, when he was speaking about men, black women just kind of were quiet and let him speak about men. But when he started trashing black women, black men decided to kick black women while they were down.
Bullshit.
No, it's not.
No.
It's true.
No.
And that's what made us angry. That's what made us angry.
I call it bullshit.
And he was like, you can see a trend of that. He was like, legit, when people are ragging on black men, black women don't join in.
Bullshit.
But like, but keep in mind, and here's what I said. He said, I think black men took it better when Kevin Samuels did. I said, you want to know something? It's funny how they took it better when Kevin Samuels was ragging on them, because Kevin Samuels was repeating something we've been saying for decades. And every time we say it, y'all eat us alive. But when another man says it, y'all take it like a champ. It's so funny. Whenever we have a complaint about y'all talk about how we're unsubmissive. But I'm going to be 100 with y'all. I mean, y'all can respond to that, but I'm really tired of talking about Kevin Samuels. I think we've talked about him for 3 episodes now. But if y'all want to respond to that, you can.
Y'all
but I have no more
last
responses.
episode?
We did.
So
if you guys want to respond to that, you can. But like, I'm kind of done talking about Kevin Samuels, but you brought him up, so I had to respond.
I brought him up in a different situation. I didn't bring this up. I'm just saying.
All right, so, but we do have to go to the most overrated song.
I disagree.
Okay.
Completely.
That's okay.
I don't think, in all respect to your
You
father.
always do.
I don't always disagree.
But
in respect to your father, I don't think he's seeing some of the things that are being posted.
Here's the funny thing. The reason why I agree with him is because we didn't even
scrubs and I can't get no love.
But listen,
that was a platinum record.
Listen to what I'm saying is basically like, again, when women were saying it,
I hate my baby daddy.
Can I finish talking?
I'm sorry.
What's that with a fuck?
Because I always let you finish.
I'm sorry.
No, keep going, because you're not going to let me finish what I got to say.
You don't have to get mad about it,
It's starting to get on my nerves.
Only did it twice.
And I'm not going to act like my nerves are getting stepped on.
What's the
Okay.
But I completely disagree.
But what I basically, and I forgot my train of thought because you wouldn't be quiet. And I forgot my train of thought. It's fine.
I have seen plenty black women dog black men out.
Yeah.
When somebody posts something.
Yeah, when Kevin Samuels does it, it's okay though. That's our point.
Hold on, no, wait.
When Kevin Samuels repeat what we've been saying for decades, it's okay. But when we say it, it's a problem.
Let me finish. I have seen plenty black men on social media disagree with Kevin Samuels.
Yeah, I agree.
I have seen that.
I agree.
As you just said, you didn't see black women saying like, "Oh, nah, bro, you kind of wrong with that when it comes to black men."
No, wait. What did you hear me say? Because that's not what I said.
You said that when Kevin Samuels made comments about black men just kind of took it, and black women just kind of just said,
Yeah, and when I've seen black men disagree with Kevin Samuels, it was on the subject of black women, but not on the subject of black men. Hence, that a lot of people don't even know what Kevin Samuels has said about black men because it didn't blow up because we didn't get mad about it. Like, you know what I mean? We literally
nobody cares about black men.
That's not true.
That's
every time a police kill one of y'all, who's on the front lines? It's us. We are literally on the front lines of the movement.
I hear that.
We're on the front lines whenever a police kills one of y'all.
I get it.
Because we give a crap about it. Like, we care and we hate to see that happen to y'all. But if somebody like sexually assaults us, y'all got all questions in the world. What was you wearing? What did you say? Where was
Y'all.
you at?
No, okay, it's a
You
lot
know
of
what I
men.
mean? Like,
There's a lot of
There's a
men.
select group.
It's
but
a select group, but
However, as a whole, when the police kill one of y'all, where are we?
When
in
the
the
police
movement.
kill one of y'all,
we are in the movement
when-
because we disagree with that too.
I agree with you there. When Sandra
But
Bland
like
got
when
killed.
something happens to us, y'all are divided all of a sudden. Like it's kind of like
No.
Now, Breonna Taylor, we were definitely behind Breonna Taylor.
I'm sorry.
We were
Yeah,
definitely
police, but like when it comes to
black
other
men,
stuff,
this is the narrative that society be pushing.
Okay.
Black men stick up for black women. I'm sorry, that's bullshit. I don't see plenty of black men not have anything to do with a situation. If a woman's being mistreated, step up. I have seen that with my own eyes.
that don't mean y'all all step
multiple
up.
times.
But every time y'all are mistreated, we step
But
up.
bullshit. I don't see women go like literally take bottles to a man's head and nobody do anything about it. This motherfucker just get hit. Shit. Oh, he deserved it. Bullshit.
That sounds like a personal story.
No, I don't. I'm saying I have seen.
level.
Not me. I have seen this. I have seen.
As a personal story on a micro level.
No, I'm saying.
But on a macro level, we step up. But on a macro level, y'all always got something to say about us.
No, we don't.
Oh, BS.
It's not always. There are select few that have something to say. Yes.
Yeah, and they are pretty loud.
They're loud.
The majority.
Y'all have something to say.
The majority of black men
are quiet.
stand up for black women.
And you're quiet when the other ones are loud.
No, we're not.
No,
That's what y'all hear. And that's what y'all listen to.
Let me tell you something.
No, we're not.
When the Me Too movement came out, this one woman said that. She said, how is 1 in 4 women been raped and none of y'all know a rapist?
How I want to know that another man raped another woman?
So
I wouldn't know that if I'm not
there.
there.
Can I call it audible?
Sure.
I want to call it audible, and I'll read
their own penis before they hold other men accountable.
I rock with this sister. I love her content, but on this video, let's get deep. This couldn't be further from the truth. It all depends on what kind of friend they are. Ladies, y'all know just as much as we do, if not more. You have friends that you just can't say stuff to. They hard-headed. They gotta live and learn. And excuse me, but I'm just not ready for a fight every day. You know how many times we see our friends doing stupid stuff? Especially the hard-headed ones. Do y'all really think we want to sit there and hold this person's hand all day? They grown just like I am. Why y'all don't say nothing when y'all know he cheating on this girl? Because he's gonna find some way to fight and tell us to mind our own business. And he is not my woman, so I don't feel the need to fight with him. When we've said our piece to our friend and then next week his life is turned upside down, oh, we definitely call and say, I told you so. Ask your man if his friends has ever called him when his life was in shambles just to make fun of him. That's us telling him he's stupid and we told you so. And if that idiot ends up in another relationship, we tell him what he went through with the last relationship when she left him. I think y'all think by holding somebody accountable, that means you gotta scold them every day. No. Sometimes you have to sit there and let your friend go through the fire. And if casualties happen, so be it.
No, okay, I hear what you're saying. Semicolon, however, comma. If I have a female friend that is doing some really crazy stuff, let me tell you something. Something I heard a man say. He said, if you watch somebody treat somebody they sleep with like trash, they don't care nothing about you. Ooh. So, if I had a female friend who kept doing some real crazy stuff to men, we ain't friends no more. Because you sleeping with that nigga. So that means you don't care nothing about me, because girl, I ain't even sleeping with you. So in that moment, and that's what I'm saying, so y'all could see men do some really evil stuff to women and still be friends with them. I don't understand that, because that means that's an evil person. Like, you know what I'm saying? Yeah. And so I'm like,
I agree.
And so that's what we're saying about holding accountable. Like, y'all legit will still hold that person close, like that's your boy. And it's like, bro, you don't watch him do some evil stuff to somebody. Like, it's kind of like, and y'all just say that ain't my business.
I disagree with you on that.
And personally, for me, like, if I see a woman do something really trifling to a man, I'm gonna say something the first time. But if I have to keep saying something, I'm just gonna keep my distance, because you clearly crazy. Like, you know what I mean?
I think we're on the same page.
After a while, I'm just
we're on the same page.
Yeah.
But from the perspective of the man that was mistreated in that situation, from his perspective, it would look like her friends didn't help at all. They knew this was going on and they didn't come to him. They didn't help him. So like the same thing like you're trying to say.
Okay, I see what you're saying.
But a lot of men do check other men. But like he said.
And I say that, but I think what I've also seen in situations like I've known guys and they've done some like trash stuff, and I'd be like, yeah, your friend tripping, blah blah blah, and I'm not talking about but in other situations I'd be like, your friend tripping.
I'm a hookah.
But like, your friend is tripping, whatever, and they'll be like, I mean, that ain't my business, blah blah, and that's still your boy, and it's like, what your friend did was pretty trifling, like. And it's still like, y'all are still like this. And that's what we're saying. It's like, y'all will watch men dog us out and still be like, well, that ain't my business. And it's like, okay, ooh.
I can't, because if I ever see like a dude that I call my friend, like just put his hands on a woman or something like that, I'm like, checking this and the third, change your behavior. Or like, bro, like this not it. Because there's only so much that I'm not going to sit up here and fight this dude or anything like that because he put his hand. No, I understand.
Oh,
so
I'm asking men to fight.
Yeah, so I'm not. What I'm saying is like, as her as a woman, call the fucking police on him. Call the fucking police. Like, get him fucking arrested. Because
let me tell you this, and something that a lot of men don't know about specifically about domestic violence, the police are also virtually useless in that situation.
I ain't gonna lie. That needs to be hold on. That's gonna be another episode because
they are.
I'm with you.
Like, why don't the police
get
involved? It's like, we do call the police.
Trust me.
And then the guy will be like, oh, she's just had too much drink. They be like, you have a good night, sir.
And it's just like, you're right. We're gonna hold that. We're gonna hold that because you're right. We need to have a discussion about all. Yeah,
I agree with you 100% on that.
Yeah.
So like, don't bring up the police, because the police be useless in them situations.
But at the same time, that's still with us too. Like, if that's our homeboy, if he'll buck on the police or this and the third or buck on your girl.
In that situation, only way I can check him is if I physically check him.
Yeah.
That's it.
And the thing about...
But see what I'm saying? If you know somebody... First of all, again, if I have to physically check you, sis, we not friends.
No, this is what
I'm
saying.
You know what I mean? Like, we not friends.
I'm saying in an event like
I
that...
should be able to tell you about
But I guarantee you, if I was mistreating my wife and he knew about it, we not going to be friends no more.
Yeah, it's going to be a problem. Like, it's going to be really like... Because as my friend, like, we've been friends, like, over 10 years. My son is 11. You know what I'm saying? Like, if I found out he was putting his hands on his wife, it's like, I'm like, hey, bro, like, hey, first of all, I'm like, hey, let's talk because this ain't your character. Like what's going on? Mm-hmm. But then when I find out like you really just tripping, because I'm gonna talk to her too, because you just can't get one side of the story. You got to get both sides of the story. You got to see what the fuck is going on. And then I see this man's really tripping. I'm gonna come at him again like, hey, bro, man, X, Y, Z, this and the third. Like, hey, bro, what you got going on? But that's how you just hold. That's how some friends hold some friends accountable. I can't speak for every black man, but in my circle, I'm going to, if I know one of my friends is like putting his hands and he ain't, or mentally abusing, or emotionally abusing,
I'm gonna hold you
or
to
financially
that. And
abusing.
I agree with that. But I think that's where we kind of, because y'all will say, oh, well, I don't do that, but what if a bunch of women are having the same complaint? Y'all saying, well, I don't do that, is it enough? Like, and y'all don't have to do anything about it, but just believe us.
No, I do.
And that's what we're saying. It's kind of like, whenever we say that, you're like, well, that's not true because I don't do that. And we're like, okay, but if you come across a bunch of women with the same story, all we asking you to do is believe us.
Nah,
you see what I'm saying?
Real.
Like,
that's real.
We're not asking you to solve it. We're not asking you to, you need to be different. We're literally saying, like, bruh, like you said,
believe that the man is.
Or just like there's like when you even say it's just a minority, it's like, well, that minority is loud and we're being affected by that minority. We're asking y'all to believe us, and that's how you hold it. That's how you hold that minority accountable, is by saying like, yeah, we believe that them people out there is tripping. Like sometimes that's all we asking for is to be believed. Because I say this, being a black woman in America, nobody believes anything you say. When you say somebody is hurting me, nobody believes you. And that's not something we just experience in black women. That's stuff we experience in the workforce. And that's stuff even we experience from a young age in schools. If you look at statistics from a young age, if it's a black on white with women, the black girl is always considered the aggressor no matter what the white girl did. And that's something a lot of us have experienced. And you can look at statistics and see that. And so when we come to y'all and say...
black people in general.
Yes, but we feel that even further when we come to y'all with certain stuff and you go, oh, that's not true, that's BS. Mm-hmm. And we're like, we feel extremely dismissed because on top of that, we're getting that from the world because we're black people, right? But then we come to our men and y'all just say, well, I ain't like that, so that's BS. And it's like, okay, well, we're telling you and the fact that you can say, I hear black women say that all the time, that means we all got the same story. So even though it's a minority of y'all, we're being affected by the minority. And y'all are just saying, well, I ain't like that, so that ain't my business. But it's my business because the minority is affecting me.
I agree with what you're saying. My perspective was.
Yeah, so I'm pretty sure you said that because they could hear your mic or my mic.
Keep that in there.
So we're going to go ahead and take a little break.
Weak ass bladder.
And yeah.
Been holding it for like 20 minutes.
All right, cool. Let's take a pee break.